Quick, we're going to review over some stuff that we've already talked about. The last thing we talked about before the test and the life center coming yesterday. So, raise your hand. Tell me, what is a stressor?
Something called stress.
Thanks, Courtney, for raising your hand.
It's something that causes stress.
Yes, it is. Something that causes stress. All right, so somebody raise their hand. Tell me something that could be a good example of a stressor in your life in freshman year or senior year. Braden.
Schoolwork.
Schoolwork, right. You got a lot of schoolwork. Spend 7 hours a day here. It's pretty much your job at 14, 15 years old, and it will be for the next couple of years. And if you go to college. Zoe.
I just got my cap and gown.
It's got your cap and gown. All right, so maybe graduation's stressing you out. What do you got a plan for graduation?
Bowling afterward.
Bowling. Well, if you're someone who's graduating, what's a few things you got to plan out a little bit?
Who's going?
Who's going to your what?
Graduation.
Graduation party, whatever you want to call it.
Whoever I want. But
Then what? You're 17, 18 years old. You're leaving high school. What's next?
how I'm getting there. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do next then?
Figure out where I'm going to college.
Yeah. So maybe college, maybe technical school, maybe start your own business, etc. Right? So those are stressors in your lives. You got to figure these things out. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad thing, right? What are some negative ways to respond to stress? Anyone raise their hand? Give me a negative way to respond to stress. Ryan.
Drugs.
Drugs, yeah. So if you get stressed out, you try to find an escape from the craziness, right? So you might turn to something like drugs or Cole.
Being mean to your friends.
Being mean to your friends, yeah. You might take it out on somebody else. So you can turn to drugs or a substance, trying to get away from it. That's only going to pile it up, make it worse. Or you can be mean to your friends. You can be stressed out. You could walk into school. Maybe you got in a fight with your parents, and then your friend says, "Hey, Cole, what's going on?" And you just, kind of blow them off, say you don't want to talk about it, or leave me alone, whatever. It's not a good way to respond to it. What's a positive way to respond to stress?
Beating up your teddy bear.
Being nice to your friends.
There you go. The polar opposite, right? So maybe you can just having a positive attitude. Trying to turn it around. What's another way to Ryan?
Meditation.
Huh?
Meditation.
Meditation. That's a good one. All right, so maybe you can meditate. Some people meditate. It's a real thing, right? So breathing exercises could be included in that. Has anyone ever heard just take a deep breath? A little bit of science behind it, right? You take a deep breath, calms your body down, controls your heart rate a little bit. Miriam.
Ignore it.
Ignore it. That can go a couple ways. So if you ignore it and let's say it's a big responsibility, it's stressing you out, and you just ignore the responsibility, that'd be bad, right? But maybe you're good at just kind of putting those stressful feelings aside, getting rid of anxiety, and just kind of putting it off the side and getting the work done. So depending on how you look at it, yeah, sure. Let's see. What is self-esteem? Haley.
How you view yourself?
Yeah, it's about the best way you can put it. It's kind of how you view yourself. See, if you have a good self-esteem, how do you view yourself? In a positive way. If you have a bad self-esteem, how do you view yourself?
Negatively.
In a negative way. So you don't really believe in yourself. If you have good self-esteem, there's this word called competence, where it kind of just doesn't necessarily mean you're good at something, but you understand that there's a learning curve to everything, and you believe in your abilities to learn whatever that new task is. What is a benefit of having high self-esteem?
Confidence.
You're happy. Confidence. Well, what was it, Joey?
You don't do drugs.
Yeah, it could be. That could be it. Some people, if they have a low self-esteem, they might turn to drugs or some other or alcohol to try to get them out of their shell, and it could have negative effects on their life. What's another benefit of high self-esteem? If you have more confidence, what might that lead to?
Better job.
Better job.
Happy.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. You walk in, you kill the interview because you have so much confidence in yourself. What else? Joe, you say something else?
You're happy.
Yeah, we heard happy. Having confidence, what could that lead to? High self-esteem.
Good
Keep new
relationship.
friends.
Relationships. So that could lead to better friendships if you're confident, because you're more willing to try new things, maybe new activities with new people, or you're not afraid to go up and say hello. Or it could go on the other spectrum of a lover's relationship, right? So you can turn that into, maybe you see somebody you think's attractive and whatnot. If you don't have confidence, it's hard to go up and talk to them, or you might not talk to them on the Facebook or whatever you're using, right? So high self-esteem can lead to better relationships, things like that. What's some negatives of what could happen if you have a low self-esteem?
Relationships.
Not successful. What?
No relationships.
No relationships. So we can kind of go in the opposite direction pretty easy, right? So if you have a low self-esteem, let's say you're an athlete and you have a really low self-esteem, what's that going to do for you? You're probably going to be on the bench, because the coach is afraid to put you in the game, because when it comes to the big moment, you can't have the ball in your hands. Or you're constantly thinking, oh, I'm going to turn it over, I'm going to dribble it off my foot, etc. If you got those negative thoughts in your head, it's probably going to happen. If you, somebody once told me, my coach of mine said, if you shoot to not miss, you're going to miss, but you got to shoot to make. If you believe that when you shoot it, it's going to go in, your chances are a lot better. But if you're shooting to not miss, you're probably going to miss it. Cool. So moving on, we are going to start talking about the cardiovascular system. So get out a piece of paper and a pencil. If you need a pencil, I'll hook you up. Got a few questions for you. Tommy, need one? Does anyone else need a pencil? Anyone else need a pencil?
Eat it.
Fair today, I like this.
She's going
Joey,
away.
piece of paper, you
You have the thing.
got a pencil?
Is today the 4th of November?
Wait,
Today's the 5th.
are we keeping this as notes?
I'm gonna ask you some questions. You're gonna come up with some answers here for a second, and then we're gonna go over it. When we go over it, yeah, you're gonna want to know that stuff that we talked about. But right now, I just want to kind of get a feel for what you know. All right. So, question 1, and you can write these down. I want you to answer these. I'm gonna give you 4 questions. Write them all down. Then I'm gonna turn you loose for about 5-6 minutes and let you answer, and then we're gonna come back to them. All right. So the first question is, why does blood circulate? Don't answer it yet. Just write it down. Why does blood circulate? I guess I can write it up here on the board for you and make it easy. Number 2. Why would it need to move faster? Number 3. What does the blood need to move? Number 4. Tell me what the heart is. I don't mean like Hoosier's definition. I mean, give me like the actual heart of your body, not like good, strong will. Alright, so I'll give you like 5 minutes here, write down an answer, write down some answers. Why give me that look? You need more than 5 minutes or you need less than 5 minutes? More.
She probably needs more.
More. Oh,
I
what?
need a solid 30 seconds to do all of them.
Because she's such a critical thinker. Alright?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. Come to me. Alright, give me a couple minutes and we'll talk about it. I just want to see what you guys come up with. See what you know. See if anyone's got the a textbook answer, or to see if somebody's got like something that sounds like it would make sense, but it's not the textbook answer. See where your logic's at.
When you say like why, is it like why does it need to, or just like in general why?
It's the same.
What, for number one?
Why needs why?
For number one, you're saying, Courtney?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, why does it need to? What's it doing? It's got a reason.
Why are you going in the girls' room?
Come up with your answers to the blue question. Hard. Hey, if you're done, draw something on the back. Just don't talk, alright? wrote something on the back. Alright, looks like there's a lot of drawing, so it looks like we're good to go. Alright, so, number 1. So raise your hand and tell me, why does blood circulate? Zoe.
To provide oxygen to all cells or parts of the body.
Yeah, to move oxygen to cells and parts of the body. Did you Google that?
Yeah.
I took health.
Oh, well, I'm glad. You just had your phone
You were on your
sitting there, so I wasn't sure. Alright, so yeah, moving oxygen throughout the body. What else, maybe? Annabelle.
Provide circulation.
Circulation, yeah, it's like she was talking about oxygen. So what circulation is anyone ever had the circulation cut off to, has anyone slept funny on their arm and woke up and they literally couldn't move it, or it was like asleep? It means the circulation's not there, right? It doesn't have that oxygen getting to the cells. So then you start to lose kind of control of it. If you lose, let's say you get in a real bad accident, or somebody gets in a real bad accident and they cut the bottom half of their leg, and they have to use what they call a tourniquet, and they tie it right here, right? Why are they doing that?
Let the blood flow. So you can't
Which
feel
is
it.
cut off circulation to that bottom half of your leg. What can happen to the bottom half of your leg if it doesn't have circulation?
You can die.
Yeah, and you can lose it, right? It's really unfortunate, but yes. So that's what circulation kind of is. You gotta have circulation to your body at all times. That's why when you get like a stroke or something, that's cutting off circulation to where?
Your brain.
Your brain, right? So yes, that's why blood's always moving. Circulation. Why else? What else is blood moving? Oxygen's in there. Does anyone else know what's in there?
Carbon dioxide.
Yes.
Carbon dioxide
Correct.
in your veins, blood's in your arteries.
He just
Also,
said
yes.
that's
You're getting ahead of the game, but I like it.
Protein.
Energy. What's giving you energy? What makes energy?
Food. Water.
Food, water. What's your body turn, or what's
Nutrient.
Yes, nutrients. So
Then you said energy.
that's how nutrients get throughout your body. So yeah, your energy, right? Carbohydrates. It's a macronutrient. Blood helps circulate that through your body. All right. Why would it need to move faster? Anybody? Nathan. I haven't heard one of you.
To get oxygen to your body faster.
Yes. So
Support you.
correct. So keep up with the demand for oxygen, right? What's going to create a demand for higher oxygen?
Like activity, like running.
Yeah, an exercise.
Running.
So Nathan's out running the mile. He's breathing really heavy. What part of his body really needs oxygen when he's running the mile? Lungs are helping cycle that oxygen, but yeah, his legs. His legs start to get tired. They're running out of energy and oxygen. So the blood's forcing faster, trying to get more nutrients, more energy, more oxygen to his leg muscles. So that's why it might move faster. And that's when you'll notice when you're just sitting around, there's not a high demand when you're sitting in Mr. D's class for extra oxygen, so you probably don't really even notice your heart beating, right? But if you're out there, you're sucking air, you can feel your heart about beating out of your chest, etc. Number 3, what does it need to move?
Energy. Oxygen.
Yeah, in a way.
Blood.
I'm looking for like components of the body that helps it move.
Heart.
The heart.
Yeah.
The heart. There's one. What else does it need? The heart ain't by itself, right?
Veins. Circulatory.
In a way, yeah. The brain definitely the brain controls it. All right. So yeah,
Veins.
perfect. Yeah.
Arteries.
Does anyone know how the brain controls the heart?
With this
With
brain
what?
cells.
It's
Nervous system.
If your heart stops, what do they got to do to it?
CPR.
CPR.
Defibrillation.
Defibrillation. Yeah. So what's that thing do when you hit somebody in the chest?
shocks you.
Creates an
Shows
electric
your brain
pulse.
something.
So what's your brain use?
Pulses.
Yeah, electric impulses. Has anyone ever heard of a pacemaker?
Yeah.
1 second. Yes. Like the yellow one. I got a yellow one, but it doesn't have any one specific name on it. This is for freshmen going on to sophomore.
But it's true.
Get one? Okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool, thanks. Alright, so yeah, does anyone have a pacemaker?
Yeah.
That's where your body's not sending out the right impulses. You need something actually implanted in your body to keep your heart on a rhythm, because it's controlled by electrical impulses. So your brain. That's what controls that. Your autonomic nervous system controls that heartbeat. What else does it need? We said heart. We said brain.
Veins and arteries.
Veins and arteries. Yeah, blood vessels, or we might call them. There's another one. Veins, arteries, and starts with the C.
It starts with C.
Cats.
Cats.
Caterpillars. No.
Yeah.
Capillaries. Capillaries. Yeah, you all knew it. You just same as I said, cap. You guys had it. All right. Yeah, capillaries. So, does anyone really know the difference between a vein and an artery? Right? Yeah, you did say it. Does anyone else know? I'll come back to you here in a second.
One has red blood, one has blue blood.
Arteries are red, veins are blue.
Arteries have more blood in them.
Under high pressure.
Oxygen.
You can see your
Under
veins
high
on
pressure. That's why it's
right
forced,
here.
right? All right, Braden, help us out.
Veins carry CO2 and arteries carry oxygen.
He's wrong.
That is correct. So, in relation to the heart, and we'll say away and to.
2 is veins and the way is arteries.
Also correct.
Oh,
Nice,
yeah.
Braden. What class did you take for that?
That's just health.
Oh, that's
epistemology.
common knowledge.
No, it's
She
not.
did
Yeah,
not
it
know
is.
that. She did not teach us that. She did the fakest thing I have ever heard.
Hey, all right. Hey, but yeah, Braden's right. So arteries, taking blood away from the heart. So where's it shooting that blood to?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, wherever it needs it the most, right? If not, it's a pretty steady pace. If you're sitting down, have you ever stood up and you kind of had a dead leg, you don't fall over?
Yeah.
Because your body's not really putting a whole lot of blood into your leg, and you're in a funny position, so you don't have enough blood in circulation in your legs. You stand up, you're about to fall over.
When you stand up too fast, you get dizzy and you almost fall out.
Yeah.
I did that
Was that
a lot.
for?
What is it for? It's just your body's forcing blood to your legs real fast, and it might be taken away from like your head. So yeah, and who said that it's worse to cut an artery? Yeah. Does anyone know what the perfect? This is a little bit farther ahead. Perfect blood pressure is
66.6.
120 over 80. Yeah. So the 120 is measuring the pressure going away from your heart, which is your arteries. The 80 is what's coming back into your heart, which is your veins, right? So when something's under a higher pressure, it's going to be forcing it out a lot faster. Let's say if you were to have an accident, so
That's
we
a
cut like there.
non-human.
Tell me what the heart is. Somebody besides Braden. Kenzie, can you tell me what the heart is?
It gives you feeling.
How would
Tell
you
us what
describe
heart
the
is.
heart? What do you know about the heart?
Right.
What's it do?
Stuff.
Stuff? What kind of stuff?
Makes you like people.
What the? She's got
It puts love in your life.
It's an organ.
What is the heart? It's the organ.
It's a mental
She said
thing.
yesterday
Shush.
morning.
Hey. Alright, so it's an organ. Well, it's a muscle. We can classify it now. But, alright. Let me grab it for you real quick. Alright, somebody help her out. Jazz, can you help her out? What's the heart? What do you put for that? What's the heart?
I say
Oh, that was on our
in your
paper.
body that keeps you alive.
It's a what?
A thing in your body.
It's a thing.
It pumps blood.
Muscle.
It's a muscle. I was right.
Organ, muscle. Right? So yeah, it's about it. It pumps the blood It's what, and we talked about how the electrical impulses control the heart, and the essay note, but we'll talk about that later. It's what forces blood through your body, right? So if you got a weak heart, what's going to happen?
You're gonna die.
You could. You could. Little energy, because why? What's not moving as much? Blood, which is carrying nutrients, oxygen, etc. You're not going to have as much energy. Correct. So that's why it's important to have a strong heart. If you want to get better at anything, what do you got to do?
Work harder.
You got to
Build endurance.
practice. Yeah.
What's that one F word? Fatigue.
Fatigue, yeah. If you want to get better at making free throws, you got to shoot more free throws, right?
Yep.
So if you want to make your heart better, you got to train it. So the more it beats from exercise, stuff like that, it's learning to work more efficiently. So then when you're sitting in your desk, your heart rate is a lot lower. That's why your resting heart rate is important. We'll talk about that when we move on to fitness. Halo. In a way, so this is a little off, but I'll say it. Like somebody who's like 7 foot up, a lot of them have heart issues because what do you think? The heart's working. It's working really hard, right? So if you're 7 foot, you got a lot of places blood's moving, right? So it's got the heart's got to force up blood 24/7 to 7 foot of body. So that's why it can be harder on them. All right. So good. Now we're going to move on to we're going to look at the heart, just the diagram. What you guys are going to do today. Braden's already got, sounds like a pretty good idea of it. So we said veins are bringing what kind of blood back to the heart? CO2, which means it is deoxygenated blood. All right, so veins are bringing that back to the blood, and when it's in the heart, it's going to go through the lung, and it's going to take what with it? Oxygen. Then where's it going?
Through your body.
Through your body, right, where it needs it. So we're going to look at a diagram, and I want you guys to be able to, I'm going to give you a little diagram to look at your desk as well, and you're going to be able to color it and tell me where it's oxygenated blood's going to be and where deoxygenated blood's going to be. And here in like a few days, you're going to be able to draw this heart with all the chambers and label where the blue and the red should be. It's going to be great. Brendan, can you turn on the projector for me?
You cut a vein.
Who's going to drag this over there?
What kind of artery you're going to do that?
Well, you can't it comes out the oxygen in the air. Now if I take both of the
See it?
Say Jasmine. Sure. Jasmine wants to see it. Oh, you got a couple of hockey players up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's even all over the ice. And it wasn't just bleeding out. It was spraying all over the place.
I know. He's like,
funny.
I don't have any problems. He's like, but I don't have any problems.
Let's see.
I have a problem.
Wait.
Did I not help him?
It's that one like that wraps his neck open.
I know.
There's some.
But now I don't look like
Alright, so what I'm handing you, it's got a lot of stuff listed on. We're going to mainly talk about the chambers for the most part. And I'm going to have you guys draw a little long one here too. Only one of them. Now, when you look at this, do you notice anything weird about the right and the left? Huh? You notice anything weird about right and left?
There's
And the flip.
What do you mean the flip?
The right one's on the left and the left is on the right.
Does anyone know why that is?
because this is how it is in your body.
So if it's right here, it's on my left side, right? Your left arm, left side, right arm, right side. That's why we're looking at kind of flip. So if someone were to say, put your hand on the left side of your chest, you're not going to put their left. You're going to do this, right? So that's why it's kind of flipped. Hopefully this little diagram will pull up here real nice and you can see it. Turn off.
I don't think it's going to pull up. Just take the end of it back.
Hitachi.
That's like interesting. What?
Oh, there's an
You can feel the gold.
Yeah.
7 minutes.
Mr. Diablo, I numbered mine in order.
You number what in order?
I numbered them in order in which the board flows.
Oh, nice. I like it.
But thing is, it goes
How does
into
it
the...
go from
No, because you're looking for this. You're looking this.
Woman, it goes
Like, I can see the
under.
lens.
It goes under.
How hard is human body?
Because I know my body.
How hard is what?
Human body system. How's it going?
The
How's it usually?
Can't be that bad. No, I mean, it doesn't get real molecular or anything like that. It's just pretty much like the bigger components. It'll be fine.
Maybe 2.
All right. Give me 1 second here. It's loading up on the computer. Having a dock issue, and then it'll be up there on the board for you. I'd draw it, but you don't want that. There's a reason I'm not an art teacher.
Because I'm getting a PhD. I know everybody.
That's what I want to. 8 years.
I'm gonna need a blue college.
8 years.
For
what?
It is still your proud.
8 years of college. My target is doctorate.
Steve, you ever collapse your lung?
Have I
ever collapsed my lung? All right. How well can you see this?
Pretty well.
Can you read the words at all?
A
little bit. What happens if I do this? Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No, it's just really blurry because your projector is
A little bit better, maybe?
No.
Alright, we're going to pretend it's better.
the lights were off, it'd be better.
It would be, but can't do that. Had a marker, lost the marker.
Yes.
Just use this. I'm reeling.
Do you have dentures?
Good enough. What is it? You will, here in a second, but I want to get rid of this, so you have to remember it a little bit. You don't just have this right in front of you. Cheat. Alright, so, on your paper, see where it says right atrium?
No. Oh, yeah.
It's on the left side. Alright, it's got like 2 openings. There's one right here and one right there, okay? To an extension of that, I want you to draw kind of like a tube up, like it's got right here. I want one down. Does anyone know what that's called?
Eliminatory valve.
That's up there. What's on there?
That's a valve.
Pulmonary.
Artery.
Has anyone ever heard of the vena cava?
What happened?
Huh?
Hush.
Alright, so, see this? You'll draw up like that.
Oh, right.
Down like that.
I can't see.
You'll draw up and then down. See how we made an extension? Yes, Cole, just like yeah. Nice. Well done. Alright. So, where it says right atrium, there's 2 little openings with arrows kind of right above it. You just draw extensions down. Kind of like draw a tube down from those. And we're going to label. Alright? This is inferior? Vena cava.
We have to remember these words.
Huh?
We have to remember these words.
You will. It'll get easy, don't worry. Alright? In the body. Well, above that. What do you think? This one's it's a vena cava as well. What do you think the first word might be?
Interfere.
Oh, exterior.
Exterior.
Exterior and
Exterior.
the last part is R-I-O-R. If it's not inferior, it would be
Interfere.
will never be
Inferior.
superior. Superior.
What? I would never would have got that.
That's why I gave it to you. We would play guessing game on this. Superior. All right. So in the body, this is kind of like medical jargon. Anything that is superior is like on top. And if there's an inferior, that means it's on the bottom. All right. So what this thing's doing? It's blue. So what do you think it is? What system do you think is part of that?
It's an artery, not a vein.
Yeah.
No.
Opposite.
It's a vein, not an artery.
Yes, Ryan. It's a vein, not an artery. All right. So if it's blue, I'll go ahead and tell you this. If it's blue, CO2. If it's actually, give me 1 second. I ain't gonna give that to you yet. I'm gonna give that to you yet. All right. That's all right. You'll forget. All right. So this is bringing blood back into the heart from where?
Body.
Muscles. Everything that's already used it, right? Whatever that blood's been used for, the oxygen's been pulled from it, nutrients, etc. It's got to get more oxygen, so it's coming back into the heart through this. Vena cava. First place it's going. If you look on here, you got these little arrows. They tell you the flow of the blood in the heart. Right now they might look kind of weird, but we're going to explain it. All right, it's going into this, the right atrium. From there, it goes down into the right ventricle. Then it's going to go up. All right, still has no oxygen. Let me draw this on here before I forget. Lung. All right, that's a lung. I'll label it. Lung. All right, so from the right ventricle, it's still got to get oxygen. That's why it's blue. All right, it's going to go up the pulmonary artery into the what?
Lung.
Into the lung. Right? So it is getting what in the lung, you think?
Oxygen.
Oxygen, correct. So it goes in here, gets oxygen. All right, then it's going to come back to the pulmonary vein. All right, it's going to come into the left atrium. By this time, what has changed with this blood?
It's oxygen.
It is oxygenated, correct. So, coming in from the rest of the body, needs oxygen. Same thing down here. Needs oxygen.
That's CO2.
Yeah, CO2. Thanks, Jerry. Good job, Jerry. Good catch. Needs oxygen. Well, no, it doesn't need CO2. It needs oxygen.
What?
It needs oxygen. So that is CO2, yes. Sorry, looking at the other one. All right, needs oxygen. So it's coming in here. So we'll say it is CO2. All right, gets in the right atrium, works its way down to the right ventricle, goes up, the pulmonary artery, gets oxygen. All right, and from there, it's coming back in here. So at this point, we got oxygen. From the left atrium, where is it going?
Left ventricle.
Left ventricle. What do we notice about the ventricles?
They're red.
On the bottom.
They're on the bottom, right? The atriums are on the top. It's not flip-flops, so there's no confusing order there. All right? So it's in the left ventricle. Where after the heart is this stuff going?
The aorta.
The body. Well,
Aorta.
assuming the aorta is part of the heart. Wherever it needs it, right? So, from here, we still got to get out of the heart and get back to the rest of the body. On your paper, it looks kind of funky, all right? Because it looks like there's an arrow right here, and all of a sudden it's blocked off by this big thing. The reason is, why?
That's the thing. Or something on top of it.
It goes over top of it. Yeah, simple as that. So the pulmonary artery is going over top of the aorta. So from the left ventricle, it's going up, going behind the pulmonary artery and the aorta, and then out to everyone's legs. Karina's legs as she's riding a horse.
Leg day.
Or her back, since she's got to keep it straight, using those muscles. So yeah, it goes back into the body. After that, it goes back out to the muscles. Where's it going?
The right knee joint.
After it goes throughout the body, then when?
It comes back.
Comes right back. So it works its way back through here. Starts a process all over. Is this stuff happening in your body right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just not real fast, right? Especially not for Joe. He looks like he's half alive right now. This ain't beating hard at all. All right. So, exactly. So, does anyone know what this thing right here is called? The divider. Starts with an S. You were onto it. It is a
Sister.
All right. So, does anyone know what it's called when people get this thing pierced in the middle of their nose? Septum. What's what do you think's kind of similar about this thing in the middle of your nose and this thing?
Oh, it's blocked.
It's a divider, right? So, it's dividing these two sides of the heart, stopping that oxygenated blood from mixing with the deoxygenating, causing a lot of problems. All right, so what I'm going to do is take all this off here.
Can you get that here?
Take a minute. Can I? I'm not a real professional thing to show up with the work, right?
You can tuck it in.
What'd you say?
You can tuck it in.
Ew. You still gotta be able to see the bottom a little bit.
No, you flip it.
Just flip it, huh?
Yeah.
And then-
Actually, I know a teacher. I do know a teacher from back home that has one.
If you don't get it, look the one that goes all the way around. And you can just flip it.
All right, so what I want you to do, and these two rows can go. Here's colored pencils. I want you to grab a blue one. I want you to grab a red one. Joey, hold on. You're the third row, my man. First two rows. Oh, we don't have 20 people up there at one time fighting over colored pencils. All right, I'll just take this. Excuse me.
I failed some
All right, so what you're going to do, you have it in front of you. Hopefully you have a lung drum. Hopefully you have the vena cava drum. So, if not, then I'll help you get it on there and it'll make it easier for you. I want you to color it red where the oxygenated blood's moving. And I want you to color it blue where it's got CO2 moving. And what CO2 is carbon dioxide. It's the opposite of oxygen, right? Our body turns oxygen into CO2. Can you sharpen it? Absolutely. It should be automatic stop. It's a real nice machine.
Well, some people have problems with sharpening colored pencils.
Well, no. Yeah, third and fourth row. Sorry. Made you wait. That's you.
I don't think it's very clear.
Job cool. Well, we'll make it clear. What's not clear about it? Tell me. Ignore these. We're just dealing with this bad word. You can get into that one.
Yeah. So first, this was until 13. I had a smartphone when I was 17.
Next two rows. Go ahead.
Left ventricle was right.
A little bit, but
So were you supposed to draw the line?
Yeah, draw the line on the side.
I hated it.
Then what you meant? Tell me. Draw long.
You
got this right.
Right.
I didn't.
Who was the other?
Like a dude.
Do you guys color those?
Me and Mr. Marcus was
One second. Color what? No, don't worry about the actual parts of the hard disk. Color the empty space.
So now I'm saying, do you want to realize like empty parts that come like addresses or what?
Correct.
No.
No. See, that's like a divider. It's on the wall. Don't color the wall. Just color wherever the wall.
I didn't know that.
All right, so this actually is kind of unique. That's how we have it. Yeah. But I mean, no big deal. You can just draw it bigger. Where's the light
Hey,
Alright.
what? I didn't know
So, way to go. That's how bullets get back to your.
Nobody told me.
All right.
Wait, really?
Why did you not know?
How do you guys?
What?
Yeah. Good bullet. All right. So,
That's
what color is this? You know what color the right H is going to be?
No.
Blood is coming in from this guy to the right atrium. This is coming from where? Where did I say blood is coming from? It's going up the vein column. You just got done running. That blood's lost the flow. Awesome. Alright, so if you're running, your legs need what? Oxygen, right? So then that blood has had the oxygen used. So it's got to go get more what? Oxygen. So it's coming in through these guys to get more. So first place it goes is right here. Has it got oxygen yet? What color they're going to be? It's going to be blue. Alright, so this whole right atrium is going to be blue. Then when it goes from the right atrium to the right ventricle, what color do you think it's still going to be?
You want an orange?
Blue. Why? Where's it going to get oxygen?
Why'd you call the whole
Well,
thing blue?
eventually where's it getting oxygen? Lung, right. So until it makes it that long, it's going to be what color? Yeah, which means CO2, no oxygen, carbon dioxide. So eventually it's going to get exhaled. So for here it's going to be blue. Then it's going to go this thing. This is the pulmonary artery. Alright, and that takes it into the lung. So until all the way up through here, it's going to be what? Blue. Alright? You see this pulmonary vein where it's labeled, this little opening right here? From there on, it got what here? It got the oxygen there, right? So from there on, red. Alright, and remember I said this thing, where it's got this arrow, it's going behind this. That's why it goes from here to the aorta. So from the left ventricle, it goes to the aorta, but you got this pulmonary vein running over top of it, so it looks confusing.
Pretty simple. You know where it's
Does anyone else need
guidance?
guidance? What do you got?
Get them here.
Your heart is dead because it is completely blue.
Yeah, so what, that's why I'm still alive, right?
Ignore those for now, okay? Just ignore those for now. You ain't gonna worry about this.
Well, that's part of the pulmonary. That's one they were warning.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
So I just don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this.
Like I said, I ain't worried about that. All I'm worried about is the 4 chambers. You ain't even gonna be tested on that. As long as you know the primary flow, I don't care if you do the rest of it.
That's right.
Joey's heart is dead.
Yeah, so it's
It's dead.
very cold heart.
He's gone.
What's it called now?
I think I got it right for
Things physically.
Looks good. Looks good. It's got purple. Looks good. Too much blue? Just take a look at your heart, man. On the one on your desk.
So you can't write in red.
Why are you calling the whole long red?
Joe, you can't write in red.
I know.
There you go.
Alright, Jay. You even got a red one?
No.
Alright, go fetch your red. Grab one.
They have a Quizlet.
This is how you.
They have a Quizlet of the parts of the heart.
Well,
You
yeah.
can't wear the clothes.
It's gonna be a health class.
What's up? Don't worry about it.
That's definitely not right.
I love
Alright, Joey. Let's still color. You got crazy shirt.
It's gonna hurt.
Alright, so. I was gonna say you have this half right, but it's kind of close. It's kind of like you couldn't miss when you colored it. But you got this part right, all right? So, why is this side blue? Correct. So, blood's coming back in through the vena cava from where?
Come back in.
Yeah, so if blood's coming back into your heart, where's it coming from?
The pulmonary valve.
Before that,
The air.
you got any outside activities you do?
Nope.
No? Nothing? You ever run?
No.
You ever punch a bag or anything like that? Yeah, alright. So, those muscles, your arms, etc., that needs oxygen, needs nutrients, right?
So it comes from my teddy bear that I play?
Yeah, your teddy, well, it doesn't come from the teddy bear, it comes from the energy expended. So, your arms are getting tired after you punch a teddy bear for a half hour, alright? So, it's sending that blood because your arms are using that oxygen for punching, and that energy and those nutrients. It's sending that blood that's already had all the stuff taken out of it, the oxygen and nutrients. It's sending that back into the heart to get more air, oxygen, right? So that's why it's CO2. It's blue. You don't have air. So it comes back into these things called the vena cava, right, from the rest of your body, from your teddy bear punching arms. All right, goes into the right atrium. From there, it's going to the right ventricle.
The left one's already.
Yes. All right. So these haven't made it where yet. If it's on this side and it's blue because it doesn't have oxygen. So where has it not made it? That's how it gets back out to the rest of your body. Where's it going to get air from? What organs help you get air?
Your nose?
What's this big thing? Lung, right. So if it's here, it hasn't made it here to get oxygen yet, right? To get there, from the right side of the heart, it's got to go up this bad boy right here, the pulmonary artery. So once it gets in here, it's getting air. All right. So from then on out, so you got it. So because it got the air, right? So it's this is red. And then from there it's red. It's got to get to this thing. It's red. And like I said earlier, it's confusing because the blue pulmonary artery goes over top of it. So it kind of looks like it's cut off. But the left ventricle, it's going behind this thing. And the aorta and the left ventricle connect, but they're behind this thing. So they'll be red and they'll be red. And it's going back out to your teddy bear punching arms.
I punch teddy bears all the time.
Don't punch the money.
We're through this process.
Alright. Once you get done, once I gave you the okay, alright? Did you guys get the vocab packet yet? I'm going to give you the vocab packet for the whole cardiovascular system. It'll do you good.
Is it longer?
No, I don't think it's longer. Pretty on par, I would say. What is it? Yeah, I haven't played and played probably 2 rounds in about 6. Legit. Kind of good. Responsibility. Huh? Can we try this away? Nope. That's another reason I don't think you can anyway.
Hey!
You're here for Oh, okay. I have one girl here.
This all needed to be done. So, is the kid sitting there? Who is it?
Yes, you told me you had
It
to
needs to be
switch.
done. This is not like an option.
I was out yesterday.
They've had it for a week.
And what it is Algebra 2, I guess, isn't offered until next semester.
Yeah, until after I do geometry.
Because when I looked it over, it was good on the, but you can't take Algebra 2 without the prerequisite of geometry, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the only one.
Well then, I don't know what to tell you.
I know it's
You're either going to go without a schedule or
And she's just not here to.
They don't want you to be we just follow our options.
There is bonded.
Huh? Yeah, that's something I was well aware of. Yeah, you just
Nobody knows who you're I dare you to. Next year, this year.
All right, so.
Free the knee.
I didn't get one.
2019.
Messy.
She said this was the card. He is. Mr.
All right, so. All right. So once you're done, yeah, start working on your vocab packet. If you still need help with your heart, let's make sure you got it right. See me. Tell me to come show you the flow. You still need some vocab packet inside?
I played my software. I know who he is. Trust me, I know he is still. He's good. Probably you guys work for us. No, it's great.
You got it?
We didn't have a problem with the door
Right in her hand, that's funny. Yeah. Got it to get her day at Kroger.
Oh!
You know I
We're supposed to be doing it.
They're not bad.
What? Vocab packet is strictly for your benefit.
Only one word is J.
Wait, so can I just go home and do this?
Yes, it can stay.
No, you need to be working on this right now, or I can give you a guided note sheet.
No.
Which guided note sheet's only going to benefit you too. I'm just saying.
No.
Sorry, man. You can work on something.
Yeah, we're going to have English questions you did too.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I believe it starts on 408, but you can also use a glossary.
Probably would be good. You wear Nike stuff with that.
Alright, so this will get you familiar.
Okay, but I see you wear.
This will get you familiar with all the words you're probably going to see in the next few days, alright? Some of them we talked about today. The rest of them we're going to be talking about. Also, you're going to be able to reference this later for your tests, alright? So, if anyone also wants a guided note sheet that they want to use along with their test here in a week or so, or probably when we get back from spring break, I can also give you a guided note sheet if you want it, alright? I suggest you take it, but I won't force it on you. If you want one, it's right here. You can get it.
What?
Yes.
I did reading activity number 15.
Kind of.
And when you put your colored pencils back, looks like it's already happened. Put them back in the right spot, alright? Don't throw the blue and the green and all that and get it all mixed up. So it's not confusing for the next people. What's up, Courtney? Need help?
I need help, Monsieur.
What?
What's the word on
If a word is not congenital heart disease, I'll find that one for you. I think it's congenital heart defect. You might be right. It might not be in there.
There's some other words that aren't in there.
If a word is not in there, you can use Google. Alright? That is your permission to use Google.
Heart murmurs.
414. Heart disease, it says heart defects. You can look up. You can work that out. You can put heart defects. It'll be on 414.
Or the whole thing, or just the heart?
Replace disease with defects. You need help? I can help you. Need Nathan's help?
What the heck? I don't see anyone.
Do you have a question?
I need a copy of Nathan's.
Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Good.
Alright, that's it.
Alright. You don't have this, do you?
What do you need him on?
I could have thought.
Does anyone else need vocab? Late to the party?
Yeah, somebody. Joey doesn't.
Oh, Joey needs one? I got you, Joey.
Dang it, come on.
Mine, you say you needed a folder?
No, Nathan does.
Dang, we're all
What's wrong?
words and writing it easy.
Nathan, you're a bum.
He said, oh, boy.
I'm not a bum.
Shit.
Nathan's a big old bum.
Let me give you a hard
He texted me. I saw him in the hallway.
What's
Alright. So you want to hear
It's all about the
Alright,
That's kind
so
of weird. It's not weird.
on this side, the heart. Alright, so when you use when you're out walking or etc., use an option. That's how you're not supposed to do option. And that travels. Right? So that blood is getting recycled constantly. And to get more oxygen, where do you think it's going? Yeah, to the lung, right? And to get to the lung, it goes to the heart. So after you use that oxygen, it turns into CO2. That's what they are. That's not full. So it's coming back in. The blood's coming back in. And they're called inferior.
What do you want from me?
What question do you want to So in the body,
Okay.
it's a medical jargon. It's a superior.
Why did you look deep for like inferior?
So we're gonna call her no oxygen. So you just use it for walking. So that blood's coming back. It doesn't have oxygen. Comes into here, the right atrium first. So what color is it gonna be? So I'll let you color that in a second. So we'll put 15 from the right atrium.
What's your rating on accuracy?
The right atrium. Grade 1. So they got oxygen. Where's it gonna get oxygen? It's made it to correct. It's not made it to yet. From there, it's going to the lung. All right. It's got this. it's going up this bad boy called the pulmonary artery. So from the right ventricle, it's going up through here, so it's going to be, hits this, what's this?
Oxygen.
Yeah, orange lung that has oxygen, right?
Okay.
So, do you have that good template? Yeah. Alright. Oxygen. So put another 2 there. So after that, it's got to get back into the heart so it can go back up to your tired muscles. Yeah, it comes back into the pulmonary vein. So at this point, it's got oxygen, right? So what color is it going to be?
Red.
Red. From there, it's going where? What do you notice about the ventricles?
From the left and the right.
Yes. What's above them? Atriums. Alright, so the ventricles are on the bottom, both on the bottom, atriums both on the top. Alright, so that's in the left ventricle. Oxygen. Goes up from here. This is weird. You see this arrow? Showing hitting this wall. It's because the left ventricle is connected to the aorta, but it's running behind this thing. So on a 2-dimensional paper, it looks fine. So it's going up through here, and it's going back out.
Now I see why you're gonna enter the air.
Yeah, where's your body? Wherever's sucking oxygen, right? Whatever muscles need oxygen. So,
Before I say that.
wherever it should be blue, color is blue. Wherever it should be red, just keep it. Keep it. And when you're done with the pencils, just throw them back in the box. Then vocab.
It's easy. It's budget.
At 10:45, we have the live announcements. So we're just gonna play those forms. So then at that point, we're pretty much done.
Sweet.
What? 10:45 you what?
Announcements, live announcements. You show them. We're showing them.
I have so many
We're showing them for us?
This will be like the first time I watched it when it first.
But you have to do.
Yeah, I'm doing a project right now where I'm making a satellite that's gonna monitor a glacier.
Right, it's the
It's
same.
We're supposed to be ready at 10:45 is what I was told.
10:45 for what?
Live announcements.
See it here live. Take Mr. Davidson speaking.
just like this.
From Judah though.
Just a bunch of documents, like you sell documents.
I don't know if it's right.
It was like 30 documents. There's more skill practice. Units, conversion units. There was a lot now. There's not that much though.
All right, tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more on the capillaries, the thing other than the veins and the arteries that build up your blood vessels. We'll talk about some other stuff like blood pressure, go more in on that, and the lymphatic system, which is our body fights disease and pathogens, etc. And I'll get to the live announcements.